Hi, this is Paige Hudson, and you're listening to the Homeschool Science Tip of the Month for July 2018. This month's tip is to take some time to ruminate over your plans for next year. As homeschooling moms and dads, we do a lot to make sure that our children get the education they deserve. And although we may currently be on break from formal studies, my guess is that you're still thinking about homeschooling from time to time. That's why my tip this month is to take some time to ruminate or think deeply over your plans for next year. I try to have my materials in my hands by the end of June, but I don't actually write out my plans until August. Here's what I like to do before I put pen to paper on my plans for next year. First, I like to get real about how last year went. I like to chat with my kids about what they liked and what they didn't like, about what they remember from the previous year. I usually do this as we clean out and organize last year's materials. Second, I like to learn something new about homeschooling. I listen to a podcast, I read a blog post, or I pick out a new-to-me homeschooling book. The point here is that I want to learn something new about homeschooling, something that will help me shape what I want next year to look like. Third, I get familiar with the materials I've chosen. I pull out all the books I have and look them over. I read the introductions in the teacher's guide to get an idea of how the weeks are laid out. In the past, I would have also pre-read all our read-aloud books, but nowadays, I just don't have the time. And then finally, I ruminate. No, not like a cow ruminates. I like to think deeply. I let all of this settle in my mind. I think through the possibilities, and I write down those things that keep popping up in my mind, because most likely they will be a part of our following year. Your process of rumination can look a whole lot different than mine, but the goal here is to get a good idea of how you want your homeschool to look like over the next year. And then with this in mind, you'll be ready to create a framework of plans for the next year. Want to learn something new about teaching science? Check out this video on the 3 keys to teaching science. Thanks for listening, and I hope you're having a great summer playing with science.